inside, go your room.
So this is my buddy's car that we're trying to 2J swap, and we have the motor basically sitting in the car along with the transmission, which is a BMW ZF transmission. We built a transmission mount for that already, so that's already bolted up. We just got some of the parts that we were waiting for. These are just some of the parts that we were waiting on. So, some vibrant AN line for the fuel lines, and two 11-inch spall fans. Basically, that's the biggest we can go with the most airflow. And not too deep of a fan. The rest of the stuff in here is just basically vibrant fittings that we're going to be using for the fuel lines. Let's see what's in this. All right, and some red line for the transmission. That's it. Okay, so I pulled the engine out so I can do the fuel lines. Basically for the 2J, fuel is on the driver's side, so we have to cross the factory fuel lines up and over to the side. You can see here I've already done one tube adapter to the factory fuel line. I'm going to do this one next, and I'll show you how I did it. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to cut the factory hard line. You want to try and cut it on a section that's as straight as possible. So I'll probably do right here. And the reason for that is if you do it on a section that was bent, that part's not really going to be round anymore. And then when it comes time to slip the fitting over it, it's not going to want to go. So I'm just tightening and turning, just like a normal when you normally cut any type of pipe or tube. After a couple turns, just tighten, and then do a few more turns. Tighten again. This isn't the best cutter, it's just a cheap one from Home Depot. And there you go. So now that we've cut this off, the next thing I'll do is just clean this with a bit of Scotch-Brite, and then a little bit of sandpaper. And let's see if this goes on. So, see if you can see this. Okay, so how this works is inside there's a little fitting, a brass fitting or brass sleeve, olive fitting, I've heard people call it before. And the way this works is this first piece is going to slide over. So that slides on, and then you're going to take the brass fitting, and that's going to slide on. And then this one is going to go into here. You might have to push it down further. And then you're going to thread that in. You don't have to go too tight. There you have it. Now I'm just gonna try and tuck this behind these brake lines. Here you go. So now just gotta clean these lines up a bit and maybe mount them somewhere. But now we've got AN fittings on your factory fuel lines, and we'll be able to make our crossover lines. Everything's gonna be AN, and it's gonna be easy to take off, and yeah, it should be good. So after we put the tube adapters on the stock line, we're going to use this aluminum hard line with with another tube adapter, female one. So this is going to go onto the aluminum hard line, and that's what's going to cross over to the driver's side. Okay, so let's do one of these again. So now we're going to make the aluminum hard line, which is going to cross the fuel over the top of the engine bay. Again, how this works is there's a little fitting in here that's tapered, that sits against this piece, and it's tapered on the other side, which is going to sit against here. And once you tighten these down, it sandwiches this fitting, and that's what seals it. So okay, so these are the finished crossover fuel lines. One over the top, from the passenger side over to the driver's side. I don't know if you can see down in there. Let's see if you can see those right there. So just have to make AN fuel lines to connect to the engine, but before I do that, I'm waiting for a fuel filter. So the next thing we're going to work on is the transmission.